Now your NBC10 First Alert weather.
Good afternoon. We're getting into the core of this winter storm pretty quickly. Only a half hour after the snow started, the visibility dropped dramatically. Take a look at the pictures out there. You can't see the Philadelphia skyline because the visibility is so bad because the snow's so heavy. Allentown, lower left, not as heavy. Lower right, Wilmington, that's pretty heavy snow. Let me show you what we're talking about. In Philadelphia, the temperature has dropped all the way down to 30 degrees. And we're talking about the snow moving in as we go through the afternoon. The temperatures dropping a little bit. The snow continues, then changes over to sleet, then to rain, then back to snow. This becomes pretty complicated. Now take a look at your NBC10 app for your zip code, your neighborhood. You get the live radar, you can get your latest forecast, and we'll be back with another update in 1 hour.
NBC10 breaking news.
20 minutes of nonstop news, or as Tracy says, 20 minutes of nonstop snow, appropriately begins with a winter storm whipping across our region. Conditions and visibility started to deteriorate as soon as the first flakes started falling along the Schuylkill Expressway this afternoon. A live look at this nor'easter on First Alert radar. Philadelphia isn't the only major city under the wrath of this storm. It is impacting most of the East Coast right now, and it will stick around in our region until tomorrow morning. And the conditions from this storm will be very different depending on where you live. Anything from heavy snow to mostly rain. That's why you can count on NBC10 First Alert weather from the Lehigh Valley to Philadelphia, Delaware, and down the shore. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'm Jacqueline London.
And I'm Tracy Davidson. Our NBC10 First Alert team has been telling you about this storm for days now to get you prepared for it. And we have a team of reporters going county by county to show you what the conditions are like where you live. This is really our first winter storm, not just of the season, but the first we've seen in more than 2 years. And our team of meteorologists will be tracking every move this storm makes until it's well out of our region. Glenn Hurricane Schwartz is tracking the progression of the storm. But first, we need to talk about what's happening right now. For that, we go to meteorologist Brittany Shipp. Britt?
Well, we're seeing a lot of snow. It all depends on where you are. However, it's not all of our neighborhoods. And this is, of course, another tale of the neighborhoods. So if you're closer to Philadelphia, take a look at that steady snow that's been coming down for the past couple of hours. But if you're closer to the shore, you are seeing rainfall. We have warmer temperatures there. Allentown seeing a steady snowfall as well. Same thing if we're looking towards I-95. You see a lot of red lights there. Everyone has to slow down as they are driving because we are seeing decreased visibility for a good amount of our neighborhoods. Our First Alert radar shot showing us how massive this system is. We have a lot more moisture heading our way. And if we zoom you in here, we'll show you exactly where the snowfall is. And that's definitely over Allentown, Reading, down towards Limerick, Westchester seeing snowfall, Abington, Philadelphia, Wilmington. So right along that I-95 corridor, which is what we were forecasting, is the fact that we were going to start off with snowfall and then see more of a wintry mix and eventually rainfall. So that's the transition zone we are watching here. But as we take a closer look at Philadelphia, it is all snow coming down at this time. We also want to show you Storm Ranger, which gets right into the storm system and scans around. It's just to the north of Phoenixville here. And again, we are seeing a good amount of snow. Now, as we take a closer look, just to the south of the I-95 corridor, closer to some of our South Jersey suburbs, we're seeing rainfall. And this is heavy rain. It's coming down at a rate of over 2 inches an hour. But where you see the pink line, that's really the difference between whether you're seeing rain or if you are seeing snow coming down. And we'll be watching that line as it transitions a little bit to the north here, heading to the north of the I-95 corridor. And once it does, it's going to kind of cut down our accumulating snow. We're also checking out your visibility. When we see visibility down to 0, that's how we know that snow is coming down at a rapid rate. great over Philadelphia, over Coatesville, over Bluebell, over Allentown and Northeast Philly. So you can see the visibility is a bit better down closer to South Jersey. But as we time out the storm for you, between now and 6 o'clock, we do expect to see accumulating snow north of the I-95. Then we are watching the changeover. It's going to continue to transition to the north of I-95 heading over Philly. It's going to cut off our snowfall totals. And then as we get into our overnight hours, we're even tracking the possibility of drier air moving in. We'll check in a little bit later with Glenn Hurricane Schwartz. He'll let you know what that means for your neighborhood. Jacqueline?
All right, Brittany, and the Lehigh Valley is on track, as you said, to get some of the most snow from this system. Here's a live look at Allentown from our PPL camera. That snow coming down.
Yeah, and Brittany just mentioned the low visibility there. NBC10 Stefania Jimenez joins us live along West Hamilton Street in downtown Allentown. How is it there, Stefania?
Okay, so Brittany just mentioned accumulation, and boy, are we seeing it here right now. But I'm going to tell you something else, or one thing that has taken me by surprise that our meteorologists don't really talk about because it's not really in their purview, but there's a lot of traffic right now. You just mentioned that we're in downtown Allentown right now. You see a lot of these vehicles here on the road, which is somewhat surprising. I mean, it's something that PennDOT has been telling us about. It's one thing that they are concerned about because guess what? When you talk about Allentown, one thing that it's known for is its hills. So I'm going to flip this around right now so that we can take a look down the hill here. And I want to show you some of the snow that people are experiencing right here. It's not like the fun, fluffy snow. I mean, this is wet, really, really, really heavy stuff that's falling right now. It's really a mess on the roads right now. It gets pretty slippery, and that's another thing that PennDOT is concerned about. We spoke with them just a few minutes ago and listened to what they had to say about what else they're concerned about during this storm. Listen.
We are concerned with this particular storm of predicted winds, and that could cause other issues such as snow squalls or snow drifting onto the roadway. So if you do experience a snow squall, you might have whiteout conditions where it reduces your visibility to almost nothing in some cases. So we want people to be alert of that and take it a little bit slow.
Right, so we don't have whiteout conditions here right now. I should let you know if there's anybody in the area, you don't really have to be afraid. But, you know, we are seeing 20% of the increased traffic that we were, at least compared to the beginning of the pandemic. So it is something that you should watch out for. Of course, PennDOT is telling everybody, stay home. It's just not safe out there to get out and about. But just in case you need to get out there, we have a link for you set up on our website in case you want to see if there have been any accidents or road closures. Just visit NBC10.com/findsiton10. And we're live in downtown Allentown. Stefania Jimenez, NBC10 News.
Fortunately, we don't see a lot of traffic behind you on those snow-covered streets. Stefania, thank you. Philadelphia and the I-95 corridor could see a mix of snow, rain, and sleet from this storm. Here's a live look over Center City where the snow has been swirling around the skyline there at the PSFS building.
NBC10's Brandon Hudson is live now in Roxborough. What's it like there, Brandon?
Hey, Tracy, Jackie. So snow is pretty steady. It was pretty steady for the past couple of hours, but now it's starting to pick up, get a little heavier here. It's the flakes are a mixed bag. So we got thick flakes, we got small flakes, but we're here along Ridge Avenue at a time of day when it gets pretty busy. So we want to give you a look at the road. So here's a look at Ridge Avenue here. The road is clear, but it's wet. But if you look around the corner here at Lyceum, for example, the side streets here, they're still pretty messy. The sidewalks are still pretty messy too, but you still have people that are walking, still trying to get where they have to go. Now, not too long ago, we did see somebody out here salting one of the shopping plazas not far from where we're standing because people still have to run errands. They still have to go to work. They still have to pick up stuff from restaurants. Then not 30 minutes ago, we talked to a woman who was out here who was walking from home. She told us around 10 o'clock this morning when she went to work, it looked nothing like this.
Mad about it. I was wondering when we were going to get some snow, and now that it's here, I got a half a day to go home and play in the snow and relax.
Now, getting back to these roads here, I saw at least 3 wrecked cars on the way to this location. We are continuing to talk to police to see if there are any other trouble spots here in the city. Reporting live here in Roxborough, I'm Brandon Hudson, NBC10 News.
Please keep us posted, Brandon. Thanks.
Let's go now to NBC10 First Alert meteorologist Glenn Hurricane Schwartz to talk about the future track of this storm.
Yeah, Jackie, this storm is coming right along the coast. We've already seen some pretty impressive snow totals. This is the core of the storm as far as the snow is concerned. We've already had close to 4 inches of snow in Pennsville, New Jersey, and we'll keep updating these snow totals because it's increasing pretty rapidly. All right, there's the low pressure center right along the coast, and the track is taking it right along the coast. Now, in order to get really a big snowstorm in Philadelphia itself, that track has to be a little farther offshore, but it's far enough to really dump on our inland areas, and there it goes. New England is going to get hit hard, New York City. This is the hour by 6:30. We're still in the heavy snow, but not by 8 or 9. It's changing over. 30 degrees in Philly. That pink is sleet. And that could even go up into the suburbs. 26 at Coatesville and Lansdale. It doesn't have to be snowing. There's warmer air aloft coming in. That changes it to sleet. That cuts down the snow totals a little bit. Then it goes back to snow before the whole thing moves out. By 8 a.m., the whole storm is over. That's it. And then as we take a look at the temperatures in the Lehigh Valley, Berks County, those temperatures are way down there. Nothing's going to be melting during the night tonight. By tomorrow morning, it is going to be a real mess. A little bit of mixing going in during the night tonight, and then we're going to be seeing the snow end. But it's not going to get a chance to melt in Berks County and Lehigh Valley for a long time. Maybe even till Christmas, there'll be some of this snow left over. I'll get into some other parts of the area that are not going to be seeing 100% snow coming up a little bit later.
All right, Glenn, we'll see you then. You mentioned the Philadelphia suburbs and how the sleet might knock those snow totals down. Here's a live look outside right now at conditions from Storm Ranger 10 in Collegeville, Montgomery County.
And flakes started falling after lunch in Flourtown, Montgomery County.
NBC 10's Deanna Durante is in Flourtown for us right now. Deanna?
Yeah, those flakes started falling and also flying. You can see that they're kind of going sideways, not really coming to the ground, but rest assured they're clearly sticking. Take a look at the snow pile there. There's a man in a backhoe or a bobcat here trying to keep this parking lot clear. He's been doing that since about 2 o'clock this afternoon, just making pass after pass on this heavy, wet snow. When we first got here, parking lot filled with people who were stocking up on the essentials. But emergency management folks here in Montgomery County, Bucks County, and Chester County all telling you that if you can avoid it, now's the time to just stay inside and watch this from either your TV or your window.
Normally, if it's just snow, it's not a huge deal. It causes travel concerns, but considering they're calling for the heavy wet snow and potential winds later on, we are concerned that there may be some power outages, as well as the rate that it's going to fall, that there could be some pretty treacherous travel conditions later tonight as it really picks up. So we're just kind of keeping on that, watching what it does, and working with closely with PECO and our energy providers in preparation for any outages.
Now you're looking live at Bethlehem Pike here. Normally this time of day, it's a lot of cars, people heading out, people heading home from work, obviously people heeding those warnings. A couple of other things that you're being asked to do. If in that windy weather your power does go out, do not call 911, call your power company. And also, if you do lose power, they're asking you to hunker down and stay at home, because tonight is not the time to be packing up the car and the family and heading to someone else's house, hitting those roads, and possibly going to another place where the power could go out as well. So stay inside, take it easy. This will all be over, as you heard Glenn say, by this time tomorrow. Reporting live in Flourtown, Deanna Durante, NBC 10 News.
Just have to be patient. All right, Deanna, thank you. Storm Force 10 is out monitoring the road conditions across our region. This is along Lancaster Avenue in Lower Merion Township, Montgomery County. Drivers should avoid unnecessary travel, but if you do need to go out, PennDOT has reduced the speed limit on several major roads, including I-76, 95, the Vine Street Expressway, and the Blue Route.
Well, Deanna mentioned this. Power could be knocked out in communities around our area, and New Jersey's governor is reminding people that if that happens, it may take time to get those issues resolved.
Because of the potentially windy conditions, crews may not be able to safely attend to some poles and wires right away. So we do ask for your patience, as we obviously want the women and men out working in these conditions to be able to make it back to their families.
The governor also reminded drivers to steer clear of any crews that you might see out working during the storm. From New Jersey, we go to Delaware. The first flakes started falling here in Newark around noon. This was seen a little bit earlier at the Biden Travel Plaza. Some areas of Delaware have gotten 4 inches of snow already.
NBC10 Delaware reporter Tim Furlong is joining us live from Newark with more. Tim.
Yeah, guys, for about a year and a half, I'm like, oh, man, I wish it would snow. Now it's been snowing for like 5 hours. I'm like, I'm kind of over it. It's coming down hard, and now it's kind of like these icy chunks that are sitting on my jacket here. And that's really annoying because it doesn't bother you when it hits your jacket, but it does hit your ears, and it bothers you then. But yeah, here's the good news, though, at the Biden Travel Plaza. Take a look out there as DelDOT just goes by. The traffic is super light, which is awesome because that's what they really want. They want you to stay off the road. So lots of people are staying off the roads. Over here at the Travel Plaza, if you come over this way, this should be a bustling place on a normal rush hour afternoon. It usually is, trust me. Look how empty the parking lot is over there. Inside, there's only like one restaurant open. They don't need to have a lot of stuff open right now because no one is traveling, which again is really what they're asking you to do. And as you said, we have gotten a bit of snow here. Like if you look at where they plowed, you can see that's a pretty good amount of snow. And you can see what it's like here on the roads down by my feet here. There is a significant amount of snow, but again, at this point, it is turned over a little bit to these sort of pellets. And listen, here's a stupid TV trick that's actually pretty effective, I think. Listen to how it sounds when it hits my hood. I hope you can hear that. It's like pebbles hitting you. So yeah, we've gone from really white, beautiful, fluffy snow to this kind of pelting little pellets, and we've gone back and forth a bunch of time. And we were talking to a couple of our colleagues that drove down here from Pennsylvania, and they said they were going through different like bands, different pockets. And I'm going to listen in my ear because I want to hear our meteorologist talk more about that, what we're exactly going through here, and what it's going to do for the rest of the night. Coming up at 5, we're also going to tell you a little bit more about this snow day controversy. Some people say you should still do snow days, and snow days should not die because they can die. Some people have a different opinion. We're going to talk about that at 5. For now, we're live in Newark. Tim Furlong, NBC10 News. Back to you.
All right, Tim. Brittany is confirming you are on the line where it's starting to change and warmer air is coming.
Good. Whatever gets this to stop hurting my ears and my face, I'll take it.
That was effective, though. We appreciate that.
You got it.
Yeah, we don't want Tim to get pelted. Have the free NBC10 app with you to track the storm through the night. The app is an all-access pass to NBC10 live weather updates, severe weather alerts, and interactive radar right at your fingertips. Back now to our big story. NBC10 First Alert coverage of this winter storm. A live look at Broad Street from our Kimmel Center campus camera. A winter wonderland. Snow flying, the wind really whipping it around and making it feel worse if you are walking outside.
Yeah, definitely colder if you're walking outside with that wind chill. Brittany and Glenn are back to give us the latest updates on this system. Let's start with Brittany.
Well, we have a lot going on with this system, and it all depends on where you are. We can't even say county by county because within our counties, you're seeing something different. So we'll show you what that looks like. But here's the big picture, and that is a lot of moisture over our region. It's either rain, it's either sleet, or it is snow. And mainly, if you're closer to Philadelphia, points to the northwest, all the way up towards the Lehigh Valley, we are dealing with steady snow. And where you see the darker blue, that's where some of the heavier bands are now moving through Wilmington up towards Philadelphia and Westchester, heading to the north and the northeast. Now, if you're a little bit closer to Philadelphia, this is what you are experiencing, which is steady snow coming down here. If you're a little bit closer to Vineland, you're actually seeing rainfall. Same thing for Smyrna. And where you see the pink, that's the sleet there. That's more of a mixed precip that's coming down. So to the north of that pink line is where the snow is, and to the south is where the rain is. So as we fly you along here, if you're closer to Upper Pittsgrove, you are seeing snowfall. But if you're just a little bit to the south near Bridgeton, you are seeing heavier rainfall coming down over 2 inches an hour. That's the rainfall rate. And of course, down towards Cape May, the warmer part of the storm, where our temperatures are well above freezing, we are seeing all rain coming down. You're not seeing any snow on our camera here, just wet roadways from the rain and the strong wind speeds. Now, as we widen out the picture, we just want to show you once again, we are seeing a combination of all things with this system moving through. But what we're focusing on is that pink line, because as we go into the next couple of hours, it's going to continue to track to the north, and that's going to cut off some of our accumulating snow, especially along that I-95 corridor. But as it goes right now, we're seeing visibility down to 0 in Philadelphia. That means we are seeing a lot of snow. Same thing for Coatesville up towards Reading. Visibility is down to 1 mile. This also really paints the picture for us. If you don't have to be on the roadways right now, it is best to head home because our visibility is so low. It is going to be difficult to drive in this, which is why we are under the first alert until we get to tomorrow morning. Let's talk temperatures. Why are we seeing rain closer to Wildwood and Cape May? It's because our temperatures are up to 44 degrees. If you're near Millville, you're seeing rainfall because we're up to 39. But Philadelphia below freezing, cold enough to support the snow. Same thing in Allentown, just 22 degrees. So as we time the storm out for you between now and 6 o'clock, we will continue with the accumulating snow for Philadelphia and points to the north of our I-95 corridor. So stay off the roads. That's the recommendation if you can. 6 to 11 p.m. we start to see that changeover, more of that warmer air moving to the north of I-95, and we'll see messy and icy roads. And then we'll even see a little bit of a dry slot here between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. A dry slot, then a little bit more light snow before all the moisture from this entire system starts to run out and head to the northeast. So for more details on what you can expect in your exact neighborhood, we can't even do county by county, Glenn, because in Burlington County, the northern part is seeing snow, southern part is seeing rainfall. So you have more details on what we can expect.
Yeah, Britt, and in places like Chester County, you might get more than twice as much snow in the northern portion of the county as you would near the border into Maryland. Take a look at the map, the snow forecast map that has basically not changed. We have not changed our forecast with this particular storm, and a huge contrast from north to south. Now, the place getting the most, Lehigh Valley, Berks County, 10 to 16 plus, and it's just about all snow. Now, in the I-95 corridor, that's where it's different. We're getting heavy snow now. Now, if it was like this all night tonight, it'd be piling up like crazy. But it's not, because look what happens. We have the pink coming through. We have it ending by tomorrow morning. So we only have a couple more hours of that. So the total snowfall forecast in southern Chester is still 3 to 6. Northern Chester is still perhaps 10 plus. Same thing in Montgomery County, mostly 6 to 10. Even parts of Philly could get more than 6 inches, but not down by Center City and the airport. Bucks County, big variation. The upper Bucks, maybe 10 inches. Lower Bucks, a whole lot less. Now, as far as we go through the next several days, this is moving so fast. You wake up late enough tomorrow, even 8 o'clock, it might be all over. The bulk of the snow is falling right now and into the next few hours in and around the Philadelphia area. It's already tapering off in northern Delaware. And once that happens, we're not going to be going back to heavy snow. And that snow is going to hang around for a while because it's going to be cold. We've got temperatures in the teens coming up a couple of mornings here, and it's not really going to warm up until next week. And even next week is only going to be temporarily. Christmas Eve may be warm, but Christmas Day looks pretty cold.
Time to keep the layers out. Thanks, Glenn. And you can count on NBC10 to help you weather this winter storm as the snow comes down across our region.
One of our NBC10 crews sent in this video from Woodbury, Gloucester County. You can see the snow starting to stick to the side of the road there. NBC10 is monitoring the changing conditions of the system. Count on it.
NBC10 First Alert Weather tracking this winter storm across our region. Here's a live look. This is I-95 in Delaware. People taking it a little easy. That's really smart. This is one of the spots that is starting to see that changeover from snow to sleet with a little bit warmer temperatures. Please be careful if you're out on the roads, if you have to go out. They are a bit messy.
And our winter storm coverage continues right now on NBC10 News at 5. A dangerous drive tonight. Snow starting to stick to some of our roads, as you see right here, making it hard for drivers to see. What you're looking at here, a live look right now from Storm Force 10. This is on Route 30 headed west through Wayne. It's It's really coming down there. But you know what? The cleanup's already begun in some areas. NBC10 in Flourtown, Montgomery County, where the snow really starting to pile up there. Those plows were hard at work trying to keep the streets and parking lots as clear as possible. But there's also some time for fun and games as well. Kids, adults, even the furry pets are enjoying what's coming down right now in Havertown.
Let's take a live look at the conditions right now across the area. Take a really good look because this shows you the differences. This is the view from our cameras in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware. Depending on where you live, you could be seeing snow, you could be seeing sleet, rain, and there are changing conditions as well. We have crews in all of those areas to show you how conditions are changing through the night. We'll check in with our team of reporters in just a minute. But we begin with NBC10 meteorologist Brittany Shipp. She's going to bring us up to speed on where things stand right now, and she's looking at totals too, Britt.
Yeah, we're adding them all up for you, and it's looking pretty good. So if you're closer to Ashton Township, you picked up over 5.5 inches of snow. Upper Darby, 4 inches. Glassboro, almost 4 inches. West Philly, 3.5. Browns Mills, 2.5. And so we are going to continue to add these up for you. And also, it all depends on where you are. Not everyone, if you can believe it, is seeing snow. So if you're closer to Cape May, our temperatures are much warmer. We are in the 40s right now. But Philadelphia, you can see the flags are blowing. Our wind speeds are gusting upwards of 30 miles per hour. Steady snow coming down. Allentown, similar conditions. At I-95, you want to be very careful driving. Our visibility is down to about 0 over Philadelphia. Now, our first alert radar shot shows things are starting to change for us a little bit. If you're near Philadelphia, all points to the north and west, you are seeing snow. But if you're closer to South Jersey, central, southern parts of Delaware along the shore, you are only seeing rainfall. And as we start to look, you see that area of pink, it's growing and growing, which means we're starting to get warmer air working into the system. And that's going to start to cut off a lot of our accumulating snow that we've been seeing coming down in a steady way over Philadelphia, over northern parts of Delaware. So that is now coming to an end, that pretty fluffy white snow, and it's being replaced with more sleet and ice coming down. So Millville, rainfall for you. Same thing for Dover, Cape May, Atlantic City, all seeing rain at this time. Philadelphia is still seeing snow. Same thing for Trenton here. We'll look at our visibility, which is down to 0 over Philadelphia. If you do not have to be on the roadways, the recommendation is for you to stay inside. Northeast Philly, visibility down to 0. Same thing for Coatesville. Bluebell's right around 1 mile. Now, Wilmington's at 5 miles, and that's because we're starting to see that snowfall lighten up a little bit and switch over. Our wind gusts over Philadelphia up to 26 miles per hour, up to 39 in Wilmington, 38 in Wildwood here. So it is just pretty nasty outside, basically, is the bottom line. Our temperatures are at 22 in Allentown, which is, of course, why we're seeing snow. We're at 30 degrees in Philadelphia, but take a look at Wildwood, 44 degrees. So this is typical with a nor'easter where we get those warmer temperatures down towards the shore and much colder to the north of town. So what we will start to see in the next couple of hours is the snow switching over to rainfall over Philadelphia. We will time this out for you, let you know exactly what to expect in your neighborhood. That's coming up in your full forecast. Tracy and Jim.
All right, Britt, playing out as you guys forecasted in our team coverage. It continues right now with NBC10 Stephanie Jimenez live in Allentown, all bundled up. We can barely see your face, Stephanie, but what we can see is that snow coming down and the plows behind you.
Well, you can probably see, you probably heard those plow trucks coming down here right now. I'm going to tell you something. So we're in Allentown right now, about 10 to 15 minutes away from downtown Allentown, where we last were when we saw you at 4 o'clock. And let me tell you, the snow is definitely coming down hard. Visibility, definitely an issue. Accumulation, yes, also an issue. And I just want to show you the roads here so that you can take a look at this here. It's that messy, slushy stuff that our meteorologists have been talking about that's really sticking to the roads. And let me tell you something. If your windshield wipers are not working, if your tires don't have enough tread on them, you definitely do not want to be out here, because it is getting slippery for a lot of these vehicles here on the road. Now, a while ago, we did speak with PennDOT, and they told us that they have like 200 plow trucks out there doing their thing in District 5, which includes the area of Allentown. We've seen a number of them here on the streets. You saw a few of them, about 5 of them, just a few seconds ago. But they've been out there. They've been cleaning these roads. But here's the thing. It may not be so obvious to you if you're out here because of the speed in which the snow is falling. Take a listen to what they're saying.
With a storm like this, a plow truck could go by, plow it clear, and if it's coming down 3 inches an hour, if they were just there 15 minutes ago, you're going to have an inch or two already back on the roadway at that point.
I'm going to say something else now. You don't want to drive in the snow, but you also don't want to stand outside in the snow, because when it falls down, it's so heavy and wet that it actually hurts your face. So if you're one of those people who's been complaining about how uncomfortable it is to wear a mask, I'm going to tell you, this is actually one of those days where you're going to be very grateful that you do have a mask, because it's like another added layer here of protection. But let's just say that you do want to go out. Let's just say that you do have an emergency, you have to drive out. We do have a website, or a link to a website, where you can check to see if there have been any accidents. And you can find that on our website, NBC10.com/finditon10. And for now, we're live in Allentown. Stefania Jimenez, NBC 10 News. Count on it.
We can really see how that wind is whipping it around while you're out there too, Stefania. Thanks.
I like how Stephanie found the silver lining, you know, wearing the mask, right? All right, let's go to Montgomery County. NBC 10's Deanna Durante. She's live in Flowertown. Deanna?
Take a look here at Bethlehem Pike. Now, Springfield Township crews have been out all day long. I saw them first thing this morning, but you can still see that there's still a lot of buildup on the roads, even though they've been passing here a couple times in the last hour since we saw you at 4 o'clock. You can see someone walked by here a little while ago and the sidewalk already covered. They've been trying to clear parking lots in the area, so they're asking you, stay off the road, stay out of the way. But I can tell you that some people who are going to be out there tonight, delivery people, lots of restaurants, lots of places out there. They're not going to have your business inside for many, many reasons, including the virus. But they are also hoping that you will pick up the phone, and as long as it's safe, you can go out there. We stopped by Ambler Pizza this afternoon. They've shut down their whole dining room. It's been shut down since March. They've turned it into a massive delivery operation. The owner tells us back during Superstorm Sandy, he was the only one in the area with a generator, so his place was packed. Now he says he has to find new ways to keep in business, and he's hoping that the snow business will give him a boost this weekend.
I have 6 vehicles now on the road, and my drivers will be out there. I mean, tonight I'll have probably 12, 13 delivery drivers, pending how bad it gets. And then once everything kind of gets to a point where it's not safe to drive, we'll just shut it down.
Of course, emergency management folks all over the Philly 5-county area asking you to get off the road, stay inside. Another note, if your power happens to go out, the winds are kind of intermittent right now. You can see we just have a lot of heavy snow, but they are concerned about heavy winds, perhaps taking down trees, tree branches, power lines. If that happens to you, do not call 911. Call your power company to report that power outage, and leave those emergency calls to be dealt with by the emergency responders. Reporting live in Flowertown, Deanna Durante, NBC 10 News.
That's always good advice, Deanna. Thank you.
All right, our team coverage continues now in Philadelphia. NBC 10's Brandon Hudson is live for us, showing us the latest conditions there in Roxborough. Snowy there too, Brandon.
Yeah, Jim, same story here in Philadelphia. We got some thick flakes and some strong wind gusts. You can take a look behind me as the snow is falling over Ridge Avenue here in Roxborough. It's a beautiful sight, but you got to take a look at just how the road has changed. Remember about an hour ago, we showed you Ridge Avenue at 4 o'clock. It was wet, but it was clear. Now you take a look at it, the snow is covering up the asphalt here. The only difference is the traffic has slowed down considerably, which is a good thing, because usually around this time on most days, you would see the traffic would be a lot heavier as people were heading home from work. Now around 12:45, that's when the snow really started to pick up here in Philadelphia. It was a bit slow, but recently it's started to pick up progressively and become more significant as the evening has gone on. You take a look at video here out here from Roxborough, you can see people, they're walking around like they look like they're in a snow globe, which is quite fitting given that it is the holiday season. Now, one of the storylines with this snowstorm is this is the first time Philadelphia has seen a significant snow day in a long time. People we spoke to say they don't mind it.
Actually, it's 2.5 years in Philly. This is the first time I've seen a good amount of snow. So hopefully, I guess since a lot of people are at home, there won't be too much traffic or issues. But it's nice to have a winter in Philly.
Now, again, you're taking a look at Ridge Avenue here, busy Ridge Avenue here in Roxborough. Now, earlier, I would say maybe like an hour and a half ago, we saw plow trucks rolling through here. So hopefully we expect to see them sometime soon as more cars and buses are coming around here. Reporting live here in Roxborough, I'm Brandon Hudson, NBC 10 News.
All right, Brandon, thank you.
Hey, you viewers out there, you're also sending us your pictures and your videos from this storm. And here's one from Megan Parks in Fort Dix. This is the first snowball they've seen in 2 years. Nice one right there.
Cool, isn't it?
All right, and how cute is this one, Tracy? Ashley Morris sent us this picture of her daughter, Kaylee Mae Foster. Big day for Miss Kaylee Mae because you know what? This is the first time she has ever seen snow.
Oh,
with her little face pressed up against the glass there. She is 8 months old. That's beautiful. All right, you can show us how the winter storm is affecting your neighborhood. You can just post your photos or videos anytime on our free NBC10 app, and we'll be showing some of them on the air through our coverage of this winter storm.
And our winter storm coverage continues. Next, here is a live look from one of our crews driving through South Jersey. This is 295 North in Cherry Hill. Looks like there is some accumulation on the roads right now, and windshield wipers on high. Go easy if you have to be on the roads.
All right, back now to NBC10's First Alert weather coverage of this winter storm we're dealing with. And the shoveling's already begun. This is in South Philadelphia at the Italian Market. Might not be much foot traffic right now, but they're making sure the sidewalks are clear so everyone can get around safely when they venture back out.
And then who doesn't love a good snowball fight? Thanks to Jay Zell, who sent us this picture of her third grader pelting her with a big snowball. That looks fun.
Nice shot right there. And take a live look in Collegeville right now. This is where our Storm Ranger 10 is helping our team of meteorologists keep track of this winter storm. And our photographer, J.R. Smith, is out there, too, with the vehicle, and hopefully he's staying warm inside it right now.
Wow, it's really coming down, and you can see how high the winds are because it's blowing it sideways. Let's check in now with our meteorologist, Brittany Ship and Glenn Hurricane Schwartz. Brittany, what's the latest?
That's right. We are seeing wind gusts upwards of 30, 40 miles per hour. We'll actually show you what it looks like when we check out that Storm Ranger radar. So a closer look right now. We'll start with outside Philadelphia. Steady snow coming down, and this has been the case for the past couple of hours. So the conditions are just right, which is those below freezing temperatures. But if you're closer to Cape May, that is all rainfall coming down. We have temperatures in the 40s. Allentown, steady snow for the past couple of hours. I-95 towards Delaware, same thing. We're still dealing with snowfall, but things are starting to change for us. Closer look. This paints the entire picture. If you are in Philadelphia, mainly to the north and to the west, up towards the Lehigh Valley, it is all snow for you coming down. Now, if you are in the northern parts of Delaware, this is one of the first places we're seeing that changeover from snow to more ice and a wintry mix. That's where you start to see the pink, and look how much it's grown here in the past 15 minutes or so. So that tells us warmer air is starting to work its way into the system. We do have towards Millville, Dover, Point South, all rainfall and heavy at times coming down. And we have also seen over Philadelphia the steady, heavy snow decreasing our visibility. In a lot of locations, we're seeing our visibility down to zero. We also like to fire up our Storm Ranger here and scan and show you exactly what we're seeing just to the north of Phoenixville. And that is just more steady snow. So we are definitely delivering when it comes to this snow system. But we do want to point out again, the northern parts of Delaware right now, warmer air is moving in. So you're starting to see more of a transition zone. And that's going to be true as we go into the rest of tonight. So even in the next couple of hours, let's plan out what that means for you. By 7 p.m., you're going to see temperatures in Philadelphia right around 33 degrees. So you start to see that warmer air. By 8 o'clock, we're at 35. Now we're starting to see more of a mix, even rainfall over Philadelphia. 9 o'clock, 36 degrees. So our temperatures are actually going to nudge up a little bit. But on the back end of the system, we are going to see colder air filtering in. So by 6 a.m., we have a chance to see another quick round of snowfall with temperatures back down to 31. By 9 a.m., we're at 32 degrees and we are done with the moisture. So we have a lot of changes in store for us. And to help us out a little bit more with what you can expect to see in your neighborhood as the storm system continues to change and change and change, I want to bring in First Alert meteorologist Glenn Hurricane Schwartz for a closer look at the changing conditions. Glenn?
Yeah, Britt, you're seeing it on the radar. We saw it on the live pictures of Wilmington. You can't really see the snow in the camera anymore because it's changed over. And then that'll happen in South Philly pretty soon, and Delaware County and southern Chester County, and eventually across much of the rest of the area. Now, the track of this storm, as you can see, is inland. And because of that, it's allowing warmer air to come in from that warm Atlantic Ocean. And that's what we've been saying for days. That's why our forecast hasn't really changed for days, because the theory is what is happening. And of course, some areas with all snow, like in Lehigh Valley, Berks County, that's 10 to 16 inches, locally more, and then it cuts off sharply down toward Philadelphia. So there's all of Berks County, part of northern Chester, and upper Montgomery and upper Bucks getting a little bit more than 10 inches. That's a lot of snow. But in the I-95 corridor, that changeover has already occurred in Wilmington. So the computer model's a little slow on this changeover. But look at what it's calling for. Even with temperatures in the 20s, a large area of sleet covering Chester County, Delaware County, lower Montgomery, lower Bucks, and that's this evening. So that's really going to cut down on the snow accumulation. Then we get perhaps a little burst in the middle of the night, and then it's over. As Brittany showed you, by tomorrow morning. And with the temperatures going above freezing in Philadelphia, perhaps during the night tonight, the roads may be in a lot better shape tomorrow at 8 a.m. than they are right now. And during the day tomorrow, it's not bad. 36, it's cold. It's going to be cold through Saturday. Look at Saturday morning, 19 in Philadelphia. It's going to be way down in the Lehigh Valley. It might be single digits. And then next week is not quite as cold. By Christmas Eve, it's up near 50 degrees. But by Christmas Day, it's going to be feeling more like Christmas. It's going to be cold. It looks like it's going to be windy as well by Christmas weekend.
Back to our First Alert Weather live coverage of this winter storm. Trying to get somewhere in this kind of weather? Well, this is what you'll be dealing with on the Schuylkill anyway, near Manayunk. Traffic just at a dead stop right there, as you see. It's a tough time to be out there on the roads. Of course, our meteorologists were advising folks, if you could possibly stay off the roads after about 1 o'clock this afternoon. That's exactly when this started in our area. It continues at this hour. So if you're expecting somebody who has to use the Schuylkill, they're going to be late tonight. Meantime, a shout out to our NBC10 viewer, Lindsay Peterson, sent us these pictures of her kids playing in the snow today. This is a lot more fun than sitting in traffic, right? Climbed onto that trampoline in their backyards to take in the wintry weather. That's a great shot in midair. NBC10 Delaware Bureau reporter Tim Furlong live for us tonight in Newark. How's it going there, Tim?
It's wet. I mean, look at my jacket. It was, pelting ice pellets. It was fluffy snow. And I think a lot of people had hoped to get, a few inches of fluffy snow. Tomorrow, bright blue skies, maybe do some sledding. You can see traffic is light, not too bad. That's a good thing. But it has raised a question all over our viewing area about the future of snow days. Now that we can do virtual days, the question is, forever, should we do them? Take a look.
Rockford Park is quiet most of the year, but on the increasingly rare snow days, this is basically North Wilmington's ski resort. I was down the street at Lydia and Bridget's house as the first flakes started to fall.
These kids are so little, they don't even remember what snow is like at this point. It's been years.
The girls have big plans for Thursday, provided there's enough snow on the ground.
I really want to go sledding.
Last night I posted that I really want my own kids to get a snow day, a real snow day. No Zoom classes, just kids being kids fun. I used hashtag Save the Snow Days. Tons of people seem to agree with me. Some school districts like Garnet Valley have already told the kids to go outside and have some fun, but some districts have said, nope, we have the ability to be virtual, so we're going to do it.
And we were not going to pay any attention to it anyway. If we got snow, we're going sledding.
Maura's kids are in the Brandywine School District, which says virtual classes will be held Thursday because too much learning time has been lost. They do say breaks are built into the school day and hope families take advantage of some time outdoors. They also plan to make the first snow day of future school years a guaranteed full day off just for fun. Cool idea, but tomorrow, I hate to break it to all school leaders everywhere, but if it snows, some kids are playing hooky and many parents are just fine with that. They might even co-pilot their sled. Lots of parents think Zooming down a snowy hill, at least for one day, has comparable value to a Zoom class. Maybe give the kids just the one day to carry out their own itinerary.
I want to go sledding, drink hot chocolate with my friends, and make snow angels and snowmans.
Yeah, and back live. This is not exactly what good snowman's, as she said so cutely, this is not snowman's building snow. This is really kind of slushy and nasty. So it's really not clear if kids would have had a snow day tomorrow in non-pandemic times anyway, but I am firmly on the record. I'm all about the snow day. It's a rite of passage for people in our area. We all did it. I think our kids should do it too. That's just my opinion. You can have yours. We're live in Newark. Tim Furlong, NBC 10 News.
I'm with you on that one, Tim. All right, from Delaware to Delaware County, I'm Rosemary Connors, live in media to show you the conditions here. Also to talk about an even bigger story that's not impacted by this weather, the vaccine rollout. That's coming up.
Well, the snow is coming down steadily in many neighborhoods tonight as the winter storm moves through our region. Take a look at this video. This is out of Quakertown, Bucks County. They're expecting up to 5 inches. You can see it was sort of coming down sideways right then. And the snow is really starting to blanket Montgomery County. This is Wynwood, a layer of snow covering just about everything except for the warm roads right now. But the temperature's starting to drop. And the snow isn't stopping people from getting around in the city. This is Roxborough. Wow, that's really coming down. Falling pretty steadily. People are bundling up to get where they need to go.
Let's give you a live look at the latest from some of our live cameras right now. A live look from Storm Force 10 out on the roads, driving on Route 30 east through Paola. You see the snow accumulating there on the roadways and the wipers going as well. Still wet out there. And a live look in Bethlehem, in the Lehigh Valley. It's really coming down there, and this is an area that could see some of the higher accumulations, according to our NBC 10 meteorologists.
Speaking of our team of meteorologists and the crews tracking the latest conditions across our area, let's talk with NBC 10 meteorologist Brittany Ship. Brittany?
Well, we continue to add up the snowfall totals, and they're pretty impressive here. Oxford, PA, picking up 7 inches of snow. If you're closer to Thornton, PA, 5 inches. Berlin, right around 3.5. And we're not done with the snow yet, especially if you're closer to the Lehigh Valley. That's still supposed to be the bullseye of the system. One of my favorite cameras to look at is across Broad Street here, and you can see the roads are definitely covered with snow. You can see everyone's walking slowly, trying to just take it all in and enjoy it. It looks like a winter wonderland. And it's not everyone that's seeing this snowfall. If you are to the south of Philadelphia or I-95 corridor, if you're closer to South Jersey, along the shore, central southern parts of Delaware, you are mainly seeing rain. But if you're in Reading, if you're in Allentown, if you're in Philadelphia, if you're in Trenton, that is all snow coming down right now. So as we take a closer look, the darker blues here is heavy, more steady snow that is falling. And we are tracking some changes to this system here. So where we start to see this pink area growing, that's more of a wintry mix. That's warmer air working into the storm system and giving us more sleet. It's going to give us a little bit more ice developing here. And then to the south is where we're seeing more of the rainfall. But take a look at that. A dry slot is coming. So we are tracking for a few hours overnight when our temperatures are the coldest. We are going to kind of run out of moisture for a little while. So here's how the breakdown will go. Between now and about 6 o'clock, we will continue with the accumulating snow north of I-95, and this could get extended until about 7, 8 o'clock. So you definitely want to stay off the roads if you can. 6 to 11 p.m., we start to see that changeover move to the north of our I-95 corridor, which we're already starting to see in Newcastle County. So that's going to give us those icy and messy roadways. And then right around 11 p.m. to 4 a.m., we'll see that dry slot move in there. On the back end, we'll see a little bit more light snow, but then we will run out of moisture just as our temperatures across the board are cold enough to really support snow. And that's going to leave us with icy, messy roadways once again going into tomorrow morning. So coming up, we'll time it all out for you, let you know exactly what to expect in your neighborhood because everyone is seeing something different. We'll have that with First Alert meteorologist Glenn Hurricane Schwartz in just a bit. Tracy?
All right. Thanks, Britt. And turning now to South Jersey, where we last saw NBC 10 Sydney Long in snowy Cherry Hill. And I can see you're on the move now. Sid, where are you?
Hey, Tracy, we are in the Morristown area. We left Cherry Hill and above Mount Holly at this point, and we really want to keep an eye on the conditions as the snow begins to pile up. We want to keep an eye on these conditions for our viewers. And first off, what comes to mind right now, what we're really surprised by is there are a lot of cars out here on the road. Take a look. We're on Route 295 North. In that Morristown area, as we mentioned, you can see the highway here coated with a thick layer of snow and slush. No one really going above 20 miles per hour. We're behind a plow, if you can't tell right now. The visibility is roughly about a quarter mile or so. Check out the headlights also to our left as well. A lot of cars on the road, despite Governor Murphy declaring that state of emergency that went into effect at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Now, we also have witnessed drivers spinning their wheels. Our truck has cameras on the roof, both the front and rear, but we have witnessed those drivers spinning their wheels, having trouble getting that traction on the road because it is coated, and also with their hazard lights on, some in the left lane. Ultimately, drivers out here now are going to be in the way of road crews, those plow and salt trucks. They won't be able to make headway with this kind of competition. Earlier today, some others took a smarter approach and got their errands done early.
I'm just getting some holiday shopping done, trying to do it before I'm kind of snowed in and can't go anywhere for a day or two if that happens.
All my holiday shopping is done. I'm ready. I just needed more food. We wanted to be out before the snow came.
Now back out here live on the roads as we're approaching exit 45, which is Mount Holly and Willingboro. As you can see, these conditions are really difficult to manage. We've also been checking with some different police departments throughout South Jersey, and they do tell us that they are dealing with some of those drivers, in fact, who are getting stuck. So it's a time right now to be careful if you're out here, if you have a loved one that's headed home. They're not going to make it very soon because these conditions are really difficult to manage at this point. That is the latest. Reporting live in Morristown, I'm Sydney Long, NBC10 News. Back to you.
That's all really good advice, Sydney, and I just see that NJ Transit is changing some of its services too. So check with them if you're going to take any kind of mass transit in South Jersey as well. Sydney, thanks. And we'd like to know how this winter storm is affecting your neighborhood and your family. If you can safely do it, take some pictures, some videos. Look at all the ones that we've gotten in so far. Some of them are really fun, some of them the pets, some of them the kids, little snowballs and sledding. That's so fun. Tag us in your photos anytime on NBC10's Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram pages. Jim?
As we take a live look at one of the places that's not dealing with snow. As our NBC10 First Alert meteorologists have been telling us, this is Cape May. They're dealing mostly with rain and some wind in that area. We'll be right back. As we continue our live storm coverage, we showed you the Schuylkill. It was really backed up earlier. This is I-95 in South Philly. It's moving along pretty well, but as you can see there, the snow is accumulating on the roads, and they're taking it slow, which is smart at this point. For more now from our First Alert coverage of tonight's winter storm, on days like this, well, you're missing out if you don't grab a sled or a snow tube and find a good hill, right, Tracy? And this is thanks to our viewer, Kelly Davis, sent us this picture. Two kids making the most of this snow day. All smiles right there.
Yeah, I was going to say, those are big smiles. Check out this picture. Sean Sider sent us this little boy. He got the memo. Look at his smile. Oh, my gosh. I love it. Bundle up, hitting the hills.
That's what makes it all worth it, right? I mean, we want everybody to stay safe and stay off the roads, but if you jump on a sled and go down a hill, that's just what it's all about. NBC10 First Alert weather team. They're smiling, but they're also working really hard because they've been tracking this storm for days. You guys nailed it. We're right in the middle of what you said we would be. So let's get the latest right now, beginning with meteorologist Brittany Ship. Britt.
Yeah, and it's not over yet. So we have a lot of changes that are going on, and we'll explain exactly what to expect in your neighborhood because it is totally different depending on where you are. And like Glenn said, and depending on where you're going. So a closer look at Philadelphia right now. Broad Street, you can see everyone is moving slowly there with all the snow covering the roadways. Cape May, all rainfall. We haven't seen any snow in Cape May. Temperatures have just been way too warm. And look at Allentown. Our visibility has gone down. That means the snow is picking up a little bit, specifically in the Lehigh Valley. And we have clear visibility on our I-95 camera as well. But our First Alert radar showing us right now where the snow is, and it is over Philadelphia, all points to the north. So we're talking Reading, we're talking Allentown, Trenton. We're seeing heavier rain if you're closer to Millville, Atlantic City, down towards Cape May. If you're closer to Dover, you are seeing all rainfall. And one thing we do want to point out is where the heaviest snow is currently, and that is just to the north of Abington near Buckingham. Allentown just starting to see heavier snowfall amounts coming down. And it's a totally different story for Newcastle County here. So we're actually starting to see warmer air moving in. And we know that because we're seeing this area of pink grow here within the past 20 minutes or so. This is pushed right into Wilmington. So when we start to see the pink, we are no longer dealing with snow. We are now dealing with more of a mixed precipitation. And just within the last hour, that rain snow line where the pink was starting was all the way down just to the north there of Middletown. But now it's all the way up towards Wilmington. So that, again, just really illustrates all the warmer air that is now moving in, and we are actually physically seeing the changeover from snow to more of a wintry mix, and eventually we'll start to see rain. And what that basically does is stops the accumulating snow, specifically in Newcastle County here. We might get a little bit more on the back end, but we're also watching this dry slot here. So we could basically run out of moisture just as we would really start to see those snowfall totals accumulating. Our visibility is down to 1 mile in Philadelphia, which means it's actually improving. It's down to 0 in Northeast Philly, so that's heavy snow coming down. Now, Allentown has gone down because we are seeing the heavy snowfall rates there. 0 visibility. Same thing for Reading. Coatesville improving. Visibility is up to about 3 miles. Temperature-wise, this paints the story for us. We are in the low 20s in Allentown. Of course, it's all snow coming down. But if you're near Wildwood, Cape May, Rehoboth Beach, you are in the mid to high 40s. We're almost at 50 degrees in Rehoboth Beach. What a difference across our viewing area. So this is typical with our nor'easters here. And if you were to step outside, it would feel like 6 degrees in Allentown. It's feeling like 14 degrees in Bluebell. And that's partially due to our wind speeds gusting upwards of 30, even 40 miles per hour. So Glenn, we want to bring you in now to go over what we're going to see. We already talked a little bit about the changeover currently happening in Newcastle County, but there's more of that in store.
Yeah, that's right, Britt. And in some places, there's going to be less snow on the ground tomorrow morning than there is right now, because you're going to get some of the sleet that compacts the snow a little bit. Some places change to rain, and that, of course, melts some of the snow. And then the temperature may be going up later tonight, melting some more. So don't expect the picture to look in the morning the way it looks right now in Philadelphia, for example. The storm itself, well, starting where they normally do, right along North Carolina coast, but this is just inland in North Carolina. And that track very close to the coast is too close. It allows the ocean air to come in, the warm air to come up from the south, and that's why it's doing what it's doing, what Brittany just showed you. Then it starts making the right turn, and they'll be hitting New England with that. The total snows, we have not changed this forecast map. It's not going to be perfect for everybody, but it's still looking like this is the way the storm is evolving. In Delaware, we're already seeing the changeover even a little bit before that computer model showed, and that trend will continue through the Philadelphia area into lower Montgomery County, lower Bucks, even if the temperature is a little bit below freezing. And then there's a question just how far north that changeover comes. Now, once the storm goes past, we do get cold air back, and we could change the snow, but just for a little bit, and it's not going to be doing it much in the morning. You look at the contrast just across Chester County, going from 10 to 16 inches to much less than that. It is just amazing. Even in Philadelphia, we may see some places with way more than 6 inches. And then as we go through the rest of the night, we're going to be seeing the wind. The wind is really going to be an issue. And then look at the circulation. You can see where the low pressure center is. By 4 a.m., it's already past us. So yeah, it's going to get cold behind the storm, but it's taking that moisture with it. And so that's why tomorrow is going to be a totally different kind of day, and you'll have a lot of chance to clean up some of the mess that is caused today and into this evening.
And coming up next on NBC10 News at 6, heavy snow, heavy rain, heavy winds. From here in the Lehigh Valley all the way down to Delaware, we have you covered on all angles of this winter storm we're dealing with. Just take a look at the scene in Trenton, just one of many places right now dealing with the snow. Our live team coverage continues next. Count on it.
NBC10 News starts now.
Right now at 6, a winter wallop, snow, rain, and wind hitting our area during the first big winter storm in nearly 3 years. Thank you for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Jacqueline London.
And I'm Jim Rosenfield. And the forecast from our NBC10 First Alert weather team, it was spot on. We're dealing with it as they told us we would be. Let's take a look around the area for you. You can see those heavy wet flakes coming down in the city and the suburbs. And what you see all depends on where you are right now. So it could be a mix of snow, could be rain, or just heavy rain and wind.
Count on NBC10's live team coverage fanned out across our entire region tonight to make sure you know what's going on and what to expect as the night continues.
We'll begin with NBC10 First Alert meteorologist Brittany Ship with your most accurate forecast. And Brittany, still really wintry out there and more to go tonight.
Yeah, that's just a lot to break down. It all depends on your neighborhood. So we'll start you off in Philadelphia, one of our best cameras overlooking Broad Street here. And you can see where we've been dealing with snow-covered roads, accumulation. We have everyone starting to clean up the sidewalks, and we see everyone on the roadways taking it easy, which is exactly what you need to do if you can't be inside. Our NBC10 First Alert radar shot painting the story. It shows us the snow to the north of Philadelphia and the rain to the south of the I-95 corridor. And now, right over Newcastle County here, we're starting to see more of that wintry mix, which will continue to develop, spread, and head to the north, cutting off our accumulating snow. For some, but right now, Allentown, Buckingham, Abington, all seeing the heaviest and the steadiest snowfall. And we've seen our visibility decrease here within the last hour or so. So it's kind of hard to even make out what's happening here on our camera closer to Allentown. And that's due to the heavy snow that's coming down. And so that's why we want everyone to stay inside, because the visibility drops. It's hard to see in front of you, and it's not very safe on our roadways right now. NBC10 First Alert now also showing us what's happening in Newcastle County, and that is warmer air moving in. So that's when you start to see everything going from the blue to the pink and eventually to the green. That's what we'll be seeing as we go into the rest of tonight. So within the past hour, we've really seen this take over Wilmington. So if you were to be standing outside in Wilmington, you basically went from seeing snowfall to more sleet, and eventually in the next hour or two, we could even see just plain rainfall. And that is what's going to happen as we get closer to Philadelphia. This rain snow line is going to transition to the north as warmer air works into this system, and that's going to cut off the accumulating snowfall in Philadelphia. Our visibility is down, like I mentioned, in Allentown. That's where we're seeing the steady snowfall. Things are improving for Wilmington, Millville, down towards Wildwood and Atlantic City. Temperature-wise, take a look at what we're dealing with. Temperatures at 49 degrees in Rehoboth Beach. That's why we're dealing with rainfall there, and we're dealing with snow in Allentown up to 21. Our feels-like temperatures are basically in the single digits in Allentown. That's how cold it feels, with our wind speeds gusting upwards of 26 miles per hour, 41 miles per hour in Wilmington. And as we go into the rest of tonight, this really shows us what's going to happen. As that warmer air works in, our temperatures will climb in Philadelphia. So we'll go from snow to more of a wintry mix to rainfall. Then we'll run out of moisture, and our temperatures will be right around 31 degrees tomorrow morning to start. So coming up, we will time it all out for you, let you know exactly what to expect in your neighborhood. But it's a very interesting system, the fact that we're actually going to get warmer here for parts of our neighborhoods, and then we'll see a little bit more snowfall on the back end. So I'll explain all the details on that coming up in just a bit.
Because right now it is cold in Philly. Feels like 18 degrees.
Yes, and it feels like 5 degrees in Allentown.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Big difference. Okay, we'll see you soon. Brittany, thank you.
Such a difference from the Lehigh Valley to the Philadelphia burbs. The plows are already out in full force here in Flourtown, Montgomery County, with the snow sticking to the ground there.
That's where NBC10's Deanna Durante is joining us live. Deanna.
Well, let me tell you, if you don't have to be out, it is not pleasant to be out. So just stay where you are. Keep watching us. You know, at the end of our 5 o'clock live shot here, I cleared off a path here. Just took it all the way down to the pavement. Look, all that snow came back in just less than an hour. And right now, it stopped snowing. When you saw us at 5, we had those big, thick, heavy flakes. Now it's rain, it's ice. Again, just not pleasant to be out. Earlier today, we were here at the Acme. We talked to shoppers. The parking lot was full of people getting all the stuff that they needed to get. But it looks like now everybody has heeded the warnings. They got what they got, and now they are at home.
Bread, you know, things like that. Stuff to make soup with.
I'm looking forward to it because we haven't had any snow, and I'm a December baby, so I want to sled just a little bit.
You do?
We don't have anything else to look forward to, so why not look forward to sledding and drinking hot cocoa and getting snow out of our boots? What else do we have to do?
Yeah, are you here to stock up for a...
I'm looking for some rock salt. I'm that person that's always stocked.
And again, if you don't have it, you're being asked to just go without for the evening. Couple of words of advice from emergency management officials we checked in with all over the Philly 5 county area. If you don't have to be out, number one, don't go out. Number 2, if your power goes out, do not call 911, call your power company. Also, if it does go out, not a good time tonight to start packing up the kids and the family and head to someone else's house. 1, the roads are not going to be great, and 2, you never know, the power could go out there too, so that trip, that risk could all be for naught. So just stay where you are, hunker down, and just think, tomorrow you can be playing in the snow and this will all be over. Reporting live in Flourtown, Deanna Durante, NBC 10 News.
Good advice, Deanna. Thank you.
And take a look at the scene here in Philadelphia. You can see the heavy snow coming down. This is on City Avenue and 76. Difficult to see and a messy drive today for those out on the roads.
NBC 10's Brandon Hudson is live for us in Roxborough right now. And yeah, we see the snow that accumulated behind you there, Brandon. And it looks cold, too.
Yeah, Jim, Jacqueline, it definitely is cold today. The biggest difference that we've seen in the last half hour is we're seeing that switch from thick flakes to sleet, which is what we have now. You can take a look at the light. That gives you the best perspective. What has not changed, you take a look at the road here, Ridge Avenue, still a bit of a mess, but we did see a plow move through here just in the last minute, 2 minutes. Here's some traffic here, but this is also a time to remind people that if you have to be out on the road, to slow down, which is what we've seen people do, but also keep like a 5-6 buffer difference between yourself and the driver ahead of you. Now, nighttime here in Roxborough, the snow is beautiful to look at. We saw some people kind of running around in it, going on the SEPTA buses out here. But at the same time, a lot of these people were going home around 3, around 4 o'clock to avoid the brunt of the storm. We spoke to one woman who said when she left this morning, it looked totally different.
I came to work, it was about 10 o'clock, and it was nothing like this. Got my snow boots on and everything.
Are you warm?
I am. I dressed for it. Got my gloves, my hat, my nice snow jacket, so I'm actually hot wearing this.
So yeah, she definitely came prepared, but coming back live now on Ridge Avenue, one of the busiest roads here in Roxborough. You can see a little bit of traffic. Some cars are slowing down as they're coming to that traffic light. Again, slow down if you have to be out here on the road. Now, we did get an email from our news desk that around the 34th Street Bridge, Girard Avenue near the zoo, there was some cars that were piling up. They're not going to be able to get any help anytime soon until this snow, this sleet really starts to slow down. Reporting live here in Roxborough, I'm Brandon Hudson, NBC 10 News.
All right, Brandon, let's take you now to Delaware. We're going to show you, you can see the snow coming down hard on 95 in Wilmington. It's been like that for hours now as the area continues to deal not only with snow, but also some rain mixed in and those winds, too.
NBC 10's Tim Furlong is standing by right now live in Newark. Tim.
I hear snow and I hear rain mixed in. The rain is clearly winning. The rain is definitely winning. I mean, you can see what it's doing on my jacket. No snowflakes to be found, just raindrops. The good news is traffic is very light. This is I-95 heading northbound. The roads are okay. State police say there have been a couple minor accidents in Kent and Newcastle counties, but nothing too big. Now, I'm going to let you in on a little secret as we come over here. When we try to find a location when we go on TV for these kind of stories, we try to be somewhere where there's coffee, there's a bathroom, and there are people to talk to. This is the Biden Travel Plaza. This is usually very, very busy. You can see how few cars are here. So few people went out on the roads today, partially due to the snow, partially due to the pandemic. A lot of people heeded the warning. We did find one guy who could tell us what the roads are like. Take a listen to our little back and forth. What is it like out there? What are the roads like? Is it as bad? You know, I mean, is slushy, rainy, windy, snow?
On the Jersey side, it was pretty slushy, and since I've been in Delaware, it's pretty good roads and everything. It's good.
Gotcha. What was it? Where are you headed to? You're coming from up north?
Coming from up north, coming to Maryland. Drove into the snow and out of the snow into the rain, so it was pretty good.
Overall, not too bad. Not too many problems.
As of yet, not too many problems.
Now, back alive, this car has been here longer than we have. You see the ultimate sign of the winters that we've become used to, which are not big, fluffy snow and then sunny days and sledding. It's more like the windshield wipers and then sort of this caked on kind of thing on the glass on cars. That's what we've really become used to in this area for the last couple of years. I think a lot of us want big, fluffy snow. Maybe next time. We're live in Newark, Delaware. Tim Furlong, NBC 10 News. Back to you.
Or you got to go north for that. All right, Tim, thanks. Don't go anywhere. Our live team coverage heads out to South Jersey and more of the Pennsylvania suburbs. That's next.
And here's a live look right now from Bethlehem, where the snow and wind have picked up in the last half hour. We knew this is one of the areas would get some of the most snow, and you see it still coming down and accumulating on the roads. Brittany.
And I'm First Alert meteorologist Brittany Shipp. We are tracking where the steady snowfall is still coming down, and that's in Allentown and the Lehigh Valley. But what's in store for the rest of our neighborhoods as we start to see more of a changeover? I'm tracking all the details coming up in your full forecast.
Welcome back as we take a live look right now from Storm Force 10 driving around in Wayne, Delaware County. This is Route 30 headed east. You see there is snow there on the roadway, so take it easy if you have to go out. But if you don't, best to stay home tonight.
Storm Ranger 10 is just one of the tools our First Alert meteorologists are using to stay ahead of this winter storm. You see it there. It is stationed in Collegeville, Montgomery County. That's where you see all that snow coming down. The radar can extend about 18 feet in the air, and that allows us to keep tabs on the storm's every move.
Weather team using all the tools in their tool belt for this. Let's take you live out to the burbs right now, and that's where NBC10's Rosemary Connors is for us in Media, Delaware County. Rosemary, it looks like things have quieted down a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely, Jim and Jacqueline. I mean, what a difference a couple of hours make. We're definitely starting to see that wintry mix, that eventual changeover to rain. I mean, about an hour ago, we had these heavy flakes just coming down. You can see the accumulation on the ground. We've got a little bit of video that we took from earlier today from the early afternoon into the late afternoon. You saw that snow coming down here in Media, Delaware County. It started off as light flakes, and then it just got steadier and stronger, that snowfall, as we got into the evening rush hours. And again, I mean, really, we've been seeing that accumulation through the evening, but with this wet precipitation, this wintry mix, and this more rain-like substance that's coming down, you know that this is eventually going to melt, and that accumulation on the ground is going to push down into the evening hours. Hey, I want to talk real quickly to a local police officer. This is Officer Fred Mason with Upper Providence Township Police. Officer Mason, you've been out and about, so tell me what you've been seeing out here.
A lot of cars getting stuck. They're not ready for the snow, and they're used to going home the normal way, and they're getting stuck on most of the hills.
And you were telling me you were down over by Granite Run, right? And it took you, what, 20, 30 minutes to get up back this way by 252 and Route 1?
Yes. Just roads are slick. It's starting to ease up now. PennDOT's starting to catch up on a lot of the snow-covered roads and busy roads. But people are slowly starting to understand what's going on and starting to get home pretty safe.
It took us a while to get over here. We're at this Wawa over by Kirk Lane and 252, and we came from a similar direction as you. It took us 20, 30 minutes around 3 o'clock because a lot of people still out on the road.
Yes. Everyone seems to be getting done work just about now. It's 6:13, and everyone's making it home safe. It's starting to slow down, which is good.
Officer Mason, you're not even supposed to be working right now.
No, they called me in early. We're that busy, they called me in early.
All right, well, we appreciate you taking the time. Again, Officer Fred Mason with Upper Providence Township Police here in Media, Delaware County. And as you can see out here, as we said, we're starting to see more of that rain come down. In fact, I'm going to put my hood up here. And that snow, that heavy snow that we saw earlier in the afternoon, in the early evening, that's gone. So to be determined what the rest of the night looks like. But yeah, definitely things slowing down out here in the suburbs. Reporting live in Media, Delaware County, I'm Rosemary Connors, NBC10 News. Back to you.
And thanks to the officer who's putting in those extra hours. Rosemary, thank you. Let's take a live look at Broad Street from our Kimball Center campus. Camera right in the heart of Center City. And it's gotten quieter here in Philadelphia as well, but you still see cars moving slowly there on Broad because there is snow on the roadway.
Count on NBC10 First Alert meteorologist Brittany Shipp for your most accurate forecast. Brittany, for days you've said this was going to happen, and we are now in the middle of this storm. What is the latest?
Yeah, and it's really transitioning and changing for us. So we're so grateful for all of our reporters that are in the snow, and they're telling us about the change over to more sleet and even rainfall. So that's what we expected to see happen, which is why our snowfall totals weren't as high. But a closer look at our snow reports so far. Oxford, we picked up 7 inches already. Thornton, PA, 5.2 inches. And as we go into the rest of tonight, areas like the Lehigh Valley have the best chance to continue to see accumulating snow. But you can already see over Philadelphia, things have really slowed down. Our visibility has improved. So let's show you what that looks like on our First Alert radar. And it shows us some of the heaviest snow is now transitioning to the north of Philadelphia and just to the south of Allentown. We're starting to see the pink here, and that's kind of our snow stopper. We start to see that pink developing on our radar. That's more of a wintry mix. That means warmer air is now working its way back into the system. But let's start off with where that steady snow is still coming down, and that's going to be closer to the Lehigh Valley, Berks County, Allentown. We also want to show you Storm Ranger. This is a great way for us to scan and see if we're seeing anything changing over right now near Phoenixville. And currently, our scan is telling us snow is still coming down, but it's not that far away where we start to see more of that change over there. You can see it creeping closer and closer to Philadelphia, where you see that pink blob. That is warmer air moving in. That means we are now seeing more of a wintry mix. And you can see it's just to the south of Philadelphia at this time. This has really changed here over the past hour or so. So I have those red arrows to show that rain snow line is going to continue to transition to the north and the northeast. And when it does, it kind of cuts off the accumulating snow we've actually been enjoying here over the past couple of hours. Temperature wise, we are really going to tell the story here again. We are in the 20s if you're in Allentown, which of course that's why we continue to see snow coming down. But if you are closer to Millville, it's rain for you now with temperatures at 40 degrees, and Rehoboth Beach is closer to almost 50 degrees. Now we're going to factor in our wind speeds and our wind gusts, which are anywhere between 20 to 40 miles per hour. And we have about a 45 degree feels like temperature difference across our region. If you're closer to Allentown, it feels like we are at 5 degrees. That's what it feels like when you're outside. If you're closer to Rehoboth Beach, it feels like 50 degrees. That is a huge difference. If you're closer to Philadelphia, it's feeling like 18 degrees. So if you can stay home right now, at least through the night into tomorrow, that is your best bet, because it's very cold, it's raw out, and it is going to be messy, especially once we start to see the sleet on top of the snow. Wind gusts are up to 37 miles per hour in Philadelphia, up to 41 right now in Wilmington, and 38 closer to the shore. So as we plan out the rest of tonight, we keep saying warmer air is working into the system. What does that mean? That means our temperatures are going to go up a little bit, just a few degrees here, but enough for us to see the switch over from snow to sleet and eventually rainfall. Then we kind of run out of moisture, so we actually dry out by 7 a.m. We're just seeing mostly cloudy conditions, but had we had a little bit more moisture, those snowfall totals would really be much higher, because our temperatures will be once again cold enough. But we are going to see this system depart our region by tomorrow morning, early tomorrow morning. So let's do an hour by hour breakdown here. As we get to 9:30, the rain snow line, the pink blob I was talking about, our snow stopper, is going to continue to track to the north. So as it tracks to the north, it's going to cut off that accumulating snow. This is going to happen right around 9:30. So we'll be dealing with mainly rainfall over Philadelphia, Wilmington, Millville, down towards Atlantic City, central southern parts of Delaware. And then eventually you start to see this going all the way up to the Lehigh Valley. So we expect to see our accumulating snow kind of taper off right around 11:30 p.m. for the Lehigh Valley. But we start to see colder air working back into the system. So we could see maybe another inch or two in Allentown. That'll be right around 1 a.m. And then you start to notice, again, as that cooler air starts to push the rain snow line back to the south, we'll see a little bit more snowfall, possibly developing over Philadelphia and Wilmington, but this will be closer to 3 a.m. And then by 5 a.m., we're almost done with the moisture. You can see how spotty everything is. So we don't expect to see a whole lot of snowfall tomorrow morning. By 5 a.m., it's basically going to turn into spotty snow showers, mainly over the Lehigh Valley. Allentown, Lansdale, Trenton will be one of the last places to see a few of these isolated snow showers before this entire system departs to the northeast. So as we add up our snow totals forecast, we've already verified the forecast, especially in Newcastle County, picking up right around 5 inches. So we were in that 3 to 6 inch range. Same thing for Philadelphia. And again, we still think our bullseye is going to be closer to 10 to 16 inches up towards the Lehigh Valley. Now, our hour by hour breakdown going into tomorrow, so you can plan your day. We know it's going to be dry. We know it's going to be cold. Our temperature is right around 31 degrees to start the day. And then as we get into the afternoon, we're staying in the mid 30s. We factor in the fact that it's still going to be windy, so it will feel like 19 degrees when you step outside tomorrow. And by the afternoon, Jacqueline, it's only going to feel like we are at 25 degrees. So this is a changing situation, especially with the warmer air starting to work into the system. So different neighborhoods, we'll be seeing different things at different times. So just stick with us. We'll keep you updated on what to expect where you live.
And the big snowflakes, that fluffy snow is when kids love to get out there, make the snow angels. But if you're up in Allentown, 5 degrees for the feels like, so you have to take that in consideration and the risk of frostbite.
Yeah, just bundle up if you do want to go out there. But wait until tomorrow. That'll be the best time to head out and enjoy the snow.
All right, Brittany, thank you. And count on the NBC10 First Alert Weather Team to keep you safe and informed during the severe weather conditions. Make sure you have the NBC10 app. which has a live radar and breakdown of what you can expect in your neighborhood. We'll be right back. You're watching NBC 10 News live team coverage of the major winter storm hitting our area, bringing snow that we haven't seen in nearly 3 years.
One of our team members out there, NBC 10 Sydney Long. You've been driving all around South Jersey today for us, Sid, to track the conditions. So what's it like where you are right now?
Well, hey, Jim and Jackie, good afternoon. Yeah, we turned around off of 295 North in Burlington City, so we've hit some areas like Edgewater Park, also Delran, Delanco. We're moving out of Cinnaminson now and moving into Pennsauken. These are the conditions right now. We are on Route 130 southbound, so we're definitely seeing that changeover that Brittany and Glenn and all of our meteorologists have been telling us about at NBC 10. Those giant flakes, like we saw earlier in Cherry Hill, they are gone. It is very light now, the precipitation, and a changeover, sort of that light, feathery rain, and it is wet on the windshield here, so the wipers are on. Still, roads here are coated with that good coating of snow and slush. And it's not just the neighborhood and side roads. We've been surprised by just how many people are out trying to maneuver these conditions. We've seen plenty of those plow trucks that are moving the snow out of the way, but they're also dealing with all of these drivers with cameras forward facing to our rear and also on the roof of our vehicle here. You can see drivers clearly having trouble getting that traction under their tires, some with hazard lights on, and some police have told us in some of these towns that some of their drivers have in fact gone off the road. So they are dealing with some accidents. As we work our way from Burlington County back into Camden County, emergency management officials there warn different neighborhoods will feel these very different effects of this storm.
We're prepared for everything because it's not quite clear as to what's going to happen here in Camden County. What happens at the southern end of the county might be a lot different than what happens at the northern end. We're prepared for everything. We're prepared for ice, snow, wind, damaging floods. We're really concerned about the wind.
I hope people can remember how to drive.
Back out here live, Route 130 South, drivers here are managing these messy conditions. We're really not getting above that 20-mile-per-hour mark, but that muscle memory, like he said, the gentleman we just heard from, Manny Johnston, that muscle memory not coming right back for everyone. It's been 1,000 days. March 2018 was the last time our region has dealt with a snow-coated snowstorm and snow-coated roads like this. The good news, we've seen fewer cars out here, and a plus when you're out here on this driving tour, we're getting to see everyone's pretty holiday lights, and now with snow on the trees as well. We're reporting live in Pennsauken. I'm Sydney Long. Back to you.
Looking on the bright side of it, Sid, for us. Thank you. We'll be right back. Let's get a final check of this changing winter storm right now. Here's Brittany Ship once again. Britt.
That's right. We are watching the changeover now where you start to see all the pink transitioning to the north and the northeast heading towards Philly. That's going to cut off our accumulating snow, and we'll see more sleet and eventually rain. We are still seeing snow coming down, steady, heavy snow closer to Allentown and the Lehigh Valley, and it is all rainfall. If you're closer to Cape May, that's where our temperatures are in the 40s, so quite a range for us. But for Philadelphia, we will actually see our temperatures going up a few degrees over the next couple of hours as warmer air works in, and then eventually everything clearing up by tomorrow morning. Jim and Jacqueline?
Brittany, thank you. And coming up tonight at 7, count on NBC 10 News to make sure you know what's happening with the storm. Our live team coverage continues from across the region with a special 1-hour newscast.
But first, NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt is up next, and they're going to be talking about the winter storm as well. The rest of the country, it's not just our area getting pounded by severe weather today. Jacqueline and I will see you right back here at 7 o'clock with Brittany Ship for a special hour-long newscast. We hope you stay dry, stay warm, and stay safe. In the meantime, here's Lester Holt in New York. Have a good evening.
NBC 10 News starts now.
Right now at 7, a major winter storm pummeling our entire area with heavy snow, heavy rain, and strong winds as well, the likes of which we haven't seen in years. Thank you for joining us tonight for an expanded edition of NBC 10 News at 7. I'm Jim Rosenfield.
And I'm Jacqueline London. Over the next hour, we will take you across the entire region as we show you the impact of this storm as it continues to hit our area.
Count on NBC 10's live team coverage to keep you and your family safe and informed as we track the latest information on this changing storm.
Let's begin with NBC 10 First Alert meteorologist Brittany Ship for your most accurate forecast. Brittany, the weather team called this days ago, and it happened just the way your forecast said it would.
That's right, and we are still tracking tracking what is going to happen next because things are consistently changing for us. We are also adding up your snowfall totals in Spring Township in Berks County. Picked up close to 7 inches. And for Berks County and most of the Lehigh Valley, we are still seeing accumulating snow. Thornton, PA picking up 5 inches. Berlin, New Jersey picking up 3.5 inches. So we've seen quite a lot of activity for today. And in Philadelphia right now, as we can see, the snow has basically stopped. We're seeing a little bit of sleet, a little bit of rainfall, and that's going to be the trend for us as we watch what we call a changeover from snow to more of a wintry mix, including sleet and ice. If you are closer to the southern parts of South Jersey, right along the shore, central southern parts of Delaware, you are mainly seeing rain, and that's all you saw today. But if you're closer to Allentown, Lehigh Valley, Limerick, Reading, you are seeing steady snow still coming down. Our visibility is lower in Allentown as well. And a closer look at our Storm Ranger 10, our mobile radar. It is scanning. It's looking for any type of changeover right now to the north of Phoenixville, and we are not seeing it. So we still have steady snow coming down near Pottstown. But we know that warmer air is working into the system, and that means you're going to continue to see this rain snow line moving further and further to the north. And as it does, it's going to cut off a lot of our accumulating snowfall totals. So basically, right along that I-95 corridor, whatever you see on the ground is basically what we have for this system. We have another little chance early tomorrow morning, but as we look at the planner tonight, we actually see warmer air moving in. Our temperatures go up a few degrees, Jacqueline, over the next couple of hours here. 11 o'clock, we're up to 38 degrees. And then by 8 a.m., we run out of moisture with this system. So we're basically done with everything as we go into tomorrow.
But it's going to continue to change over the hours. That's why it's so important to stick with us.
That's right.
Brittany, thank you. We'll see you soon. Jim.
Yeah, let's get you out there to take a look at what's going on in our region. This is the Lehigh Valley, one of the hardest hit areas today, where Brittany says they'll see some of the higher elevations or accumulations of snow as we look live at Allentown tonight.
NBC10 News starts now.
First tonight, snow blowers out, shovels in hand, plows on the move. A huge cleanup effort begins now after a major winter storm dumped snow on our region for hours. That storm keeping thousands of people home tonight. Sloppy and slippery roads on Route 295 north near Mount Holly, north of Cherry Hill.
And it's not over yet. Take a look at your screen. This is our live radar. Our first alert is in effect through tomorrow morning. One of the big problems, the roads. We can expect a messy, icy morning commute ahead. You're watching NBC 10 News at 11. I'm Jacqueline London.
And I'm Jim Rosenfield. Dozens of schools are closed tomorrow. You can see those scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Count on NBC 10 tonight. For hours, we've been covering the snowfall across our area. The first major winter storm we've seen in more than 1,000 days. From the city to the suburbs, we have you covered. Let's begin with NBC 10 First Alert meteorologist Brittany Ship. Brittany, you warned us this storm would bring a lot of snow to parts of our area. Next up, the rain and the ice.
That's right. So we are seeing rain, we're seeing ice, and we're still seeing a little bit of light snow. It depends on where you are. If you're closer to Lehigh and Berks County, that's where we're seeing the light snow right now. And that's going to slowly transition back down towards our I-95 corridor. But the bottom line is no matter which neighborhood you're in, we are going to be dealing with messy travel throughout tomorrow. We're talking icy roads, slippery roads, bridges, and sidewalks. You want to be very, very careful walking around. Plus, we're going to see these gusty wind speeds tomorrow. And so that's going to give us a freezing Thursday. Our morning lows will range anywhere between the single digits to up to about 20 degrees. So here's a closer look at the radar. Like I was mentioning, things are lightening up. We're running out of moisture here, so we just have a few isolated scattered snow showers, mainly towards the Lehigh Valley and a lot of our suburbs. For Philadelphia, this is mainly sleet. There's been reports of some freezing rain, and it is all rainfall for South Jersey down the shore, central and southern parts of Delaware. So you can see, again, the spotty light snow showers. And as we go into the rest of tonight, expect another round of that light snow to swing around as we see colder air coming in on the back end of the system before it departs our area. So coming up, we'll talk a little bit more about your snowfall totals of what's in store for your Thursday. Jacqueline?
Brittany, we'll see you then. Plenty of people had a really rough time getting around in King of Prussia. Take a look here. Their car tires spinning, or they were fishtailing, trying to navigate the roads. Crews in Flourtown trying to stay on top of clearing the snow. They wasted no time plowing the streets and parking lots.
NBC 10's Aaron Baskerville is joining us live tonight from Ardmore. Aaron, I know you've been there all day in Montgomery County, where that snow's been pretty relentless, right?
Yeah, all day. It was coming down hard. It was coming down hard in large flakes around 5, 6 o'clock tonight. But now it's all about the wind. It's very windy outside and a little bit of that sleet's coming down. Behind me over here, you can see folks trying to get ready for the morning. That's going to be the next big thing. You can see a private plow over here doing its job. And then over here, people shoveling the sidewalks, trying to get this shopping center ready. It's been a lot of work for folks tonight. It was all hands on deck as crews across Montgomery County tried staying ahead of the messy conditions. Drivers had a hard time maneuvering on snow-covered roads. We helped one driver make it up the hill near Wynwood. Snow blowers cleared the way on Lancaster Avenue near Ardmore. Hours of work for two guys doing their best in rough weather.
Tire, bad snow, the battery keeps on going on me. Can't win today, but I'll make it home though.
Adrian DaCosta also fought Mother Nature on DeKalb Pike and King of Prussia. He hustled to change a flat tire in the middle of the road.
So I'd recommend stay home. Stay home, don't come out. You got this, you got the pandemic, stay home.
As we traveled around different areas, we saw vehicles slipping everywhere. An ambulance slid off I-76 East near Conshohocken. Drivers couldn't get up Gulf Road near Gladwin. We spotted another car on the side of that same road. A disaster of a night for some, but not for the Elick family. They went on a wintry walk.
It's change of pace, and there's not that much new going on these days, so we'll take it.
The weather changed over from snow to sleet.
Smacking us all in our face, like it feels like a real smack in the face.
These women stood at a bus stop, dodging ice and watching nearby drivers in trouble.
I really hate this weather. I want to be in Florida right now.
We're all dreaming of warmer days, of course, and I can tell you that sleet, when it hits you in your face, it doesn't feel good. Folks, in the morning, this is kind of what you're going to be dealing with. You can see the ice packed down on the window and on the car. That'll be the morning. We walk over here just to give you a view of the roads. We've seen plows coming up and down here the last hour or so. So in Ardmore, Lower Marion, they've been hitting the roads. But of course, in the morning, you want to be careful out here. For now, we're live in Ardmore. Aaron Baskerville, NBC 10 News.
I like the one woman's attitude. Not much new going on, so we'll take it. Thanks, Aaron.
And the plows are on the move. They are hard at work making clear paths for drivers who need to make a stop at businesses like Wawa and Media.
And it's really looking like Christmas in Berks County. Shovels were out in Reading as people ran some errands, maybe finishing up that holiday shopping. And in Philadelphia, one of the neighborhoods dealing with cleanup ahead. Rittenhouse Square taking a live look right now there. 5 inches fell there tonight. Philadelphia road crews are scrambling to clean up those roads, but today hasn't been all bad.
NBC 10's Drew Smith is live in Roxborough. Drew, people also enjoyed the first big snowfall in a while today.
Yeah, we saw a lot of happy people running out of their homes, especially in this area with the sleds ready to go down the hill. But right now, not so much. It's because of that sleet that's been coming down on us for the last couple of hours. You take a look here, you see the snow has clearly fallen, but the way that it's smooth like that, that's because there's a lot of ice on top now. Heavy snow piling up in Philadelphia before changing to sleet and rain tonight.
It's crazy. I mean, it hasn't snowed this much in a while.
While cars had to take it slow on messy streets, excited kids and their parents tried getting up to full speed on the hills of Roxborough.
Kids got home early from school. We're having a ball. The moms and the kids are just sledding away.
This is good. We're having fun in the neighborhood.
They even convinced me to get on a sled, and while the fun lasted a while, conditions kept changing.
It's very cold. It's been a little painful and brutal.
It looks like it might be turning over to frozen rain instead of the big fluffy snow flurries that were coming down earlier, but we enjoyed it while it lasted.
Some drivers coming up from Manayunk got stuck.
It's a tough street. It's steep. This is the steepest part right here.
Chris Pino got out his new electric snowblower to help get a stuck car out and clear his neighbor's driveway. A SEPTA bus also had trouble.
He got stuck in a ditch over there, so he's pretty stuck.
They'll probably have to use a tow truck to get him out of there.
The city first sent its trucks out salting, but with no plows in sight here, Philly Santa, who lives on this block, cleared the street.
I help everybody. That's what Santa does.
So Santa using his snowblower instead of his sleigh tonight to save the neighborhood. Well, the city, they have plows too. You're looking at one of them live right now. You may know this. They take all the trash trucks that they have here in Philadelphia and they put plows on the front of them to hit all of the streets, so many streets here in the city. So that means you won't have your trash or recycle picked up tomorrow, Thursday. They'll get to that instead on Friday. And there could be further delays if there's still a lot of mess out here. We can tell you the roads are still looking a little messy, but they're getting to work out here tonight. We're live in Roxborough. I'm Drew Smith, NBC 10 News. Count on it. Back to you guys.
And it does bring a smile to many, bringing out the kid in all of us. Drew, thank you.
To Jersey now, and is it really a snowstorm without a snowball fight? Our partners at Telemundo 62 shot this video of some kids having some fun in Trenton. This is not so much fun, shoveling the sidewalk. If you live in Camden County, you might want to build in some extra time to clean off your car tomorrow. Look at this. We saw some big snowflakes falling in Cherry Hill, completely blanketing those cars there. This right here is one of the unique tools our First Alert weather team uses to give you the most accurate forecast. It's Storm Ranger 10, our radar on wheels, deployed tonight to Collegeville to bring you a look at those big flakes coming down there.
From Montgomery County to the Lehigh Valley, taking a live look at Allentown, where at one point today, the feels-like temperature was 4 degrees. NBC 10's Stephanie Jimenez has been bringing you the latest conditions in the cold. The actual temperature there right now is 21 degrees. The feels like just 3 degrees right now. Stephanie is such a trooper. She joins us live along Lehigh Street this evening.
Yeah, there's a reason that I look like a statue out here right now. Like, I'm going to say something right now. It's pretty quiet out here right now, but do not be fooled. You just said it, Jackie. The temperatures here are absolutely freezing, and it's a really good thing that these plow trucks are out here in full force, which is something that people, when they wake up tomorrow morning, are going to be very, very grateful for.
There's a plow truck and another. And another. They're spread out across Allentown, yet they were no match for today's snowstorm.
Pretty bad. It's very slippery, deep in spots from the wind blowing. It can get pretty nasty.
No matter how often plowers cleared the streets, the snow just kept piling on, and that made for some long commutes.
Probably going to be like an hour and a half for me to get home, I would assume. Usually it takes like 45 minutes on a regular day.
But that man was one of the lucky ones. Others got stuck.
I have been stuck in the weather for like the last 3 hours and trying to get home.
It's a nightmare. It's one of the worst storms I've seen in 20 years.
And that's saying something. Greg Pappas is a professional landscaper, and during snowstorms, his fleet of snowplow vehicles clear the streets. So today's storm kept him and his crew busy. And the thing is, Greg and his workers are getting ready for a long night.
It's just one of those snowstorms. You know, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, I had to end on that soundbite because isn't that something that we could apply to the rest of the year? I mean, that is 2020. Now, I will say this. There is an upside to all of this. We spoke with PennDOT just a few minutes ago, and they say that there haven't been any major accidents on the roadways this year, and that could be a consequence of the pandemic. A lot of people were already home, and they just had no reason to leave their homes. So I'll leave with that positive good note here. No major accidents in Allentown. We're live here in Allentown tonight. Stefania Jimenez, NBC 10 News.
And hopefully you can leave now and hop in that toasty, warm truck, crank the heat, and head home. Thank you so much for reporting in brutal conditions today, all day. Stefania, thank you.
And Allentown, by the way, just one community that saw heavy snowfall. Taking a live look again at Rittenhouse Square. About 5 inches fell there tonight. Looks pretty beautiful, but still some cleanup to do there.
NBC 10 First Alert meteorologist Brittany Shipp is back with us. Brittany, your forecast was spot on. Now we're talking about the changeover to rain and ice.
Yeah, and that's going to be the name of the game as we go into tomorrow is the cleanup, is how slippery and icy it's going to be, not only for the roads, but for the sidewalks, for a lot of bridges. You just want to be careful as soon as you leave the house tomorrow as we go through the entire day. We'll be done with this by the time you wake up. However, it is still going to be very slippery out there. So here's a closer look at what we're seeing right now, and it includes the rain that's mainly over South Jersey, the shore, central southern parts of Delaware. Most of the snow snow that's falling is happening over the Lehigh Valley out towards Berks County. So this is what it looks like. But we're running out of moisture now. You can see how spotty the snow showers are. There's a closer look at Allentown. Still looks very gray. We are seeing that active snowfall. And then as we take a closer look at Philadelphia, where we have the pink, we've had reports of freezing rain throughout Philadelphia. So you want to be very careful. We could see some power outages tonight as well. And then as we fly you down closer to Dover and Cape May and Millville, we're still seeing heavier pockets of rain. So it's a bit of a mixed bag for us. But the good thing is as we track this through your 1:30 hour, we are going to start to see everything clearing up. So at 1:30, still dealing with the rain here, mainly I-95 corridor south, a little bit of light snowfall over the Lehigh Valley. But you'll start to notice on the back end, colder air is going to work into the system. So we could see a few little snow showers right around 6, 7 a.m. in the morning before most of the system departs the entire region. On top of that, even though we're going to get rid of the moisture, we are going to see these really strong wind speeds. We're already seeing wind gusts right now of 38 miles per hour in Wilmington. And as we go through your really early morning hours, maybe leave the house at 5:30 in the morning, we have wind gusts upwards of 43 miles per hour. It is going to feel raw and bitter tomorrow when you step outside. But things will die down quickly. We'll just see breezy conditions right around your lunch hour. So let's time it all out for you. By tomorrow morning, you're waking up to dry conditions, mostly cloudy. Temperatures in the 30s. They won't move much as we go through the day. We're staying basically in the low to mid 30s. Now we factor in those wind speeds, especially towards our early morning hours. It is going to feel like we are at 18 degrees tomorrow in Philadelphia. And by the afternoon, it's going to feel like we're right around 24. So although we are getting rid of all of the snow and the precipitation by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, we want to bring in First Alert meteorologist Steve Sosna. Steve, you are adding up how much snow we saw throughout the region.
Yeah, and it's always fun to watch that snow come down, but then getting rid of it tomorrow, that's when it gets really real.
And walking around in it too.
A slop fest, yeah. So we want you to give you the heads up. How much are you digging out from? Well, in some spots more than others. It really depends where you live. So if you're in and around Philadelphia, these are the nearby suburbs. Norristown, 8.5 inches of snow. Quakertown, 8 inches of snow. Chadsford, about a half a foot of snowfall. For you in Philadelphia at the airport, almost 6 inches of snow. And remember, this is very heavy, wet snow mixed in with sleet and freezing rain. Not that fluffy stuff. Newtown, Bucks County, 5 inches of snow. Our jackpot spots, Easton, 9 inches of snow. Still snowing up there. Coopersburg, 9 inches. Emmaus, you're looking at 8.5. We're looking at Mertztown over Berks County, 8 inches of snow. Whitehall Township, 7.5. And Wernersville, 7 inches. As we move down into Delaware and South Jersey, even you got that good thump of snow early on in the afternoon through the evening hours. Now a lot of it just sleet and freezing rain, but 6.5 inches in Cherry Hill. Princeton, you picked up almost 6.5 inches. Talleyville in Newcastle County around 6, and then Berlin down in South Jersey, 4 inches. So again, depends where you were, how much you got. How much more are we going to get on top of this? Well, thankfully, not a lot more. Maybe 3 to 6 in the Lehigh Valley, 1 to 2 in the suburbs. And this will be a fluffier snow than what we saw earlier on. Final totals, as you can see, we have not changed our map since yesterday. Still going 3 to 6 in Philadelphia, 6 to 10 suburbs, and nearly a foot in the Lehigh Valley. Trying to get rid of this, that's going to be tough stuff tomorrow. So if you have heart issues, get that ambitious neighbor, maybe teenager, to remove it for you. If you are going to be shoveling, make sure that you use the right technique. Your squat down, legs spread, back straight. Yes, and take small scoops of snow. And remember to lift with your knees. And by the afternoon and evening hours, a little bit easier to get rid of that snow, as we're talking about temperatures a little bit above freezing in the morning. Could be hard as a rock. 36 degrees on Thursday, 36. We welcome back a little bit more sunshine on Friday. Weekend looks decent, upper 30s to lower 40s. Last one to prepare for Christmas, which is up next week. We have a few rain and mixed showers, not a nor'easter on Monday, just a weak storm, middle 40s Tuesday and Wednesday. And then Christmas looks pretty good, but cold, upper 30s. Jacqueline?
Steve, thank you. You'll want to know what the roads are like before you leave the house in the morning. NBC10 News starting at 4 a.m. will have your latest weather and traffic.
Plus, NBC10 tracking this major winter storm that first brought snow, now rain, sleet, and ice. As we take a live look around City Hall, JFK Boulevard there. Your First Alert forecast, that's still ahead.
And let's take one last look at your overnight forecast, Brittany.
Well, we have light snow that's still coming down, but it's very spotty, and that's closer to the Lehigh Valley and also Berks County. And as we go into the rest of the next couple of hours, it'll transition a little bit further south to the I-95. But our biggest concern throughout all of tomorrow is going to be messy travel. We're talking ice on our roadways, slippery conditions, especially for some of our bridges, and definitely be careful walking on the sidewalk. So here's a closer look at where those spotty snow showers are. If you're closer to Philadelphia, the I-95 corridor, we're actually seeing freezing rain and mainly just rain down the shore. Jim and Jacqueline?
Thanks, Britt. This is true for Zoe, Britt's daughter. Some of us are snow veterans, but for others, today is just the beginning.
It is. Alessandra sent us this sweet picture of her baby watching the snow. It was so peaceful. The snow apparently put her right to sleep.
Oh, that's a trick. All right. Brianna sent us a picture of another little one checking out her first snow. She's all bundled up there. And how about this adorable little girl? Also seeing her first snow today. NBC10 viewer Devonna Starks sent us this picture and says her daughter loves it. What's not to love if you don't have to shovel it? All right, check this out. May not be frosty, but it's close enough. This snowman sent to us from Nadia in Burlington County. Great job. Love the carrot nose there.
And kids never seem to mind the cold. Notice that?
Yeah.
Even one of Philly's most popular mascots is enjoying the snow. Gritty tweeted this video of himself all dressed up as Santa playing outside. One fan replied, "It's Gritmas, the most magical time of the year."
Gritty looks good in red.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us on NBC 10 News 11. I'm Jim Rosenfield.
I'm Jacqueline London. Thanks for being with us today for your storm coverage. Good night.